engagement with me, so some of you guys are familiar with that. But the bottom line is we shrink our body to cope with this new. You shrink into a body that doesn't represent your higher self. No, be even more patient with people. Okay, so that we'll get started with that. So this is part of an accelerator program that we do for businesses in 14 different countries now. So basically today is the day you will unleash your next level of productivity and passion potential. Productivity and passion potential. The reason is, a lot of times we don't have clarity. We humans, we think that we have clarity, or we think we don't have clarity. But the reality is most of us don't have clarity. So one of the things that you're going to get today is clarity, right? So I have personally reviewed 100+ books on just productivity. And I have written one book on productivity. And some of you guys have already read my book on business. And almost any systems that people taught over the last 100 years on productivity, I went through almost all of them, right? So if your cousin wrote a book that I don't know about it, please let me know. But I have gone through most of all of them. So then I realized that, as you're getting richer or older, I think at least one of this is happening to you. Either you're getting richer and older, or you're just getting older and not getting richer. But the goal is for you to get richer and older at the same time. Time is becoming more and more precious in your life, right? Even if you're young, if you're getting richer, you start to realize that, time is the most precious resource in life. Oftentimes we get stuck in the regular day-to-day things, and then we leap forward 10, 20, 30 years, and then we look back. But now you guys are committed. You have committed to spend this time, invest this time into your future, so that you could take advantage of this precious resource called time. And you have more than 24 hours a day. And I will tell you how. Okay, so that's something that I want to share with you today. And you could buy time with money, right? So many people say, oh, you cannot buy time. You can buy time. I'll tell you how to buy time. Okay, I'll share with you that. So here's a question that I would like you to have as we are going through this. How can I joyfully double my productivity? Even if you double your productivity, and if it's not joyful, if you're not enjoying it, and if you're making any profit, and if you're still scared, it's not as much fun, right? So that's why I would like you to write down, take a piece of paper and write down this question. How can I joyfully double my productivity and profit in an uncertain time? So today, some of you might be feeling like this is an uncertain time where there is so much uncertainty in the world. And some of you might be crushing it. But regardless, the point is, if you're not feeling the uncertainty, you will feel it soon. Okay? Because that's the new world that we are entering into. In an uncertain world, nothing seemed to work the way we want it to work, right? We want to do one thing. Before, you used to do 5 things, very easy to do. But now what happens is you try to do one thing, and because of all the energy and confusion and the illness, probably some economical uncertainty and everything else is creating so much uncertainty in us. It's creating stress in us in some capacity. We are not able to move forward. We are slow down. That's what we need to break through by joyfully doubling our productivity. So here's a shocking thing, guys. We are less productive than our grandparents. And most of us have 4 times the stress as well. Do you resonate with that? Do you feel like we have more stress than our grandparents and we are less productive than them? I'm not talking about children. Children is another thing. They have more children too. Yeah, but I'm talking about work-based productivity. But here's the thing. We have a limitless possibility to expand at this time, because we have all the tools that humans imagined possible. The only thing is we're using these tools to distract us even further, right? We figure out these tools. We can grow our business really fast these days We have so many tools, so many opportunities. We have email to talk to other people through some sort of computer systems, right? We could text people. We have WhatsApp, we have Messenger, we have Slack, we have Trello, we have Asana. We have so many softwares and systems to communicate with each other. And we use that to distract ourselves. So it's not the fault of the technology company. Of course, they are responsible for what they do, but we figured out a way to distract ourselves. And once we are able to break through that, then what is going to happen is you have limitless possibilities of business and income opportunities, which is what we are going to explore together today. And the challenge is, like I said, we are distracted, we are interrupted, and we allow ourselves to be interrupted every few minutes because of something, because of Facebook or Skype or WhatsApp or something else. So if you are right now sitting on this session, whether it is online or live, I would like you to just turn your phone on to silent or airplane mode, like for 15 minutes, and see if the world is going to explode in the next 15 minutes, right? And if it does, you know what? You couldn't save it anyway. So that, like, and then think about what else, what other messages that can I avoid? What other notifications can I avoid? What am I getting that I don't want, that I didn't spend time to reclaim time from? Because if you're getting like messages from Facebook or YouTube or WhatsApp or any other social media for that matter, alerting you that somebody like washed their clothes, then it's time to turn that off today. Like we will turn that off today, right? So that's something that we need to do. So distractions, interruptions, internal energy confusions. We have confusion internally. We're like, oh, I want to do so many things, like this and this and this. And then oh my gosh, this is so stressful. Maybe I should watch a Netflix show now, because that's going to give me the clarity that I'm looking for. Arya is laughing here. She has done this, I think. Okay. And then you watch one show. You're like, you know what? I watch one show. I'm a committed person. I don't do stuff just for the sake of it. So let me watch the second show and the third show and the 17th show. Oh, it's time to go to bed now, right? So that is a challenge. We are distracted. Everyone is competing for your attention. Today, you want to spend this time, and I really appreciate you investing in yourself to spend this time working on your own inner person, so that you could move to the next level. But you are committed. Like, Tina was telling me she had to figure out another way to find another person to do a session for her so that she could come here. So everybody is competing for your attention, right? So one other way we are trapped as humans, surprisingly, is we are trapped in our body. So I'm going to spend a few minutes on the body side of it, because what happens is the entire personal development, entire sociological development, entire spiritual development, everything was focused on human mind, right? Everybody was focused on human mind for, 10,000 years now. And if you look at like most of all the people, they're like, oh, let's focus on the mind. Let's cure the mind. And the preaching and the teaching and the choir and everything else is for the mind. The art and the literature is for the mind. Where does body come in, right? Where does body come in? Because we have this miracle called body that is obvious and in front of us, right in front of our face, but we miss that. So look at this child. This is a child inside a womb. And then look at this child. This child is like closed, and because they don't have it's like New York. The real estate is so pricey. So he has to kind of, it's like an apartment in New York or San Francisco. So he has to like get into that space and stay there. And because he stayed that condition to that space, when we are stressed, we kind of shrink our body into a posture very similar to that, right? So I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. And do you understand what I'm talking about here? And there are people from different levels of body, state of body as well. What does that even mean? It means that when you go through life, and when something happens to you, like Mike Tyson talks about this in a fascinating way. Mike Tyson says, you have stress in your work. I go to work. The first thing that I get is I get punched in the face. That's how I literally start my work. Right? So you start your day by getting punched on the face, literally. That's your day, right? So when you get punched on the face by uncertainty, fear, business, challenges, marketing issues, sales issues, people not getting things done or not having the clarity, what do? You shrink. You shrink into a body that doesn't represent your higher self. And then you stay shrinked for a long time. That becomes your habit as a human. And then that's where you stay. And then we use the mind that basically helped you shrink this way. And you do so many things. There's nothing wrong with any of the things that you do to help mind free from it. But the same thing that created problem, Einstein said, we cannot solve a problem in the same state of mind that we created it. And we as humans, for the last 10,000 years, we have been trying to figure out how to solve this problem of the mind using mind. Right? And then mind is like, you know what? I'll come up with a new way to manipulate you. I'll come up with a new way to figure out how to keep you stuck. Does that make sense to you? If that makes sense, can you sizzle at me? Yeah? Does that make sense? So that's why we use body. So body work is like much more effective in speeding up your productivity.